Hey guys, welcome back to Overhit. Today's video is going to be my beginner's guide to the game. Just more of a basics sort of beginner's guide. It's not going to go overly in depth. If you've been playing soft launch for a month or something like that, you're probably not going to pick up too much from this video. But for beginners, I feel like I've got a little bit in here that is going to help you guys out. And if you are new to the channel, please check out the Discord if you like. We do have a Discord that you can chill out, hang in the game. There's also an official Discord, which I'll leave a link to in the description as well. So, jumping into it, first thing we're going to talk about is the combat. As you can see, the combat's going. It's sort of a mix between idle and active. It's sort of your units just take auto attacks, and then as this global cooldown comes off, you can select an ability from an ally. And as you can see, I'm using an ability here, and all the other abilities you see, they grey out, and it takes them about 10 seconds to light up again, and then you can choose another ability. So you can't spam ability after ability after ability. You do have to actually select one ability that you're going to use from one of your units and then choose another one the next time. You can pre-select up to 3 abilities. However, when I'm playing, I normally only like to select one ability because, like I said, you've got that 10-second gap in between where your enemies are going to be using attacks, auto attacks are going to be happening. You never know. If you select 3 attacking skills, you might need to use a heal in between or something like that. So I avoid when I am manual playing, I avoid the auto queuing. I just like to select one at a time and see what the situation brings. So that is the basics of combat. It's just auto attacking, then selecting your abilities in between. And definitely when you're team building, look for abilities that do multiple things, not just deal damage. Look for abilities that deal damage, also heal, or deal damage and buff, heal and buff. Stuff like that is what you really do want to be looking for. If you want, I have made a video about some of the top SR units I recommend, which are the more common units that you're going to be using, and they're more easy to power up. So they're going to be the common ones that most people use. I'll leave a link to that in the description as well if you want to check out those units for that. So that is pretty much combat. We're going to go back here and I'll show you the team selection page when you're going into it. It is also fairly basic, but the only thing you have to do is click on the portrait of the unit. The top one is going to be your leader, so you can just put whatever unit you want for whatever unit you want to have the leader skills. Sorry about that. In that slot, and then you just fill out the rest of the slots in whatever order, and then you hit selection complete. And then over on the right here, you can hit formation settings, and you can change your formation up however you want, and you can put your more squishy units up the back. Why is that saying friend? Okay, I don't want to take a friend. Okay, you can put your squishy units up the back, leave your tanks up the front, stuff like that, and just play it however you want. Feel free to experiment. Sometimes early on when you are progressing, your tanks, depending on what units you power up more, some of your damage dealers might be a little bit tankier than your tanks, so just look at stats and play around with that sort of thing. After that, we're going to go back to the home screen. So in the top right, you can hit this little tab. And then it brings out the menu. This basically is every menu that you're going to look at in the game. Down the bottom right, you can click on lobby. It brings you back to the lobby. This is sort of your home screen for the game. So the first thing I do want to look at once we got here was the hero list, because the game is all about heroes and powering them up and all that sort of thing. So when you look at a hero, you just select them. There's a few things to look at. Obviously up the top, you've got their stats. The grade is basically, they all started at D grade, and then down the bottom, second option from the left, you can see grade, and you can upgrade that. S being the max grade, which this guy is, and we'll get into that a little bit more in a minute. But then you do have the skills. The first one is always going to be a leader skill, and then you've got 2 active skills, and that's what we were talking about. And you can read them. It's really nice in this game. They give you multipliers and everything you need to know for information. There's no haziness in how much damage you're going to be dealing. All the multipliers are there, which is really nice. Below that, you do have gear. So we'll look at the gear quickly. Gear in this game, I really do like. You can, 1, remove it for free. 2, there's none of that power up failure type system going on. It's just, if you do a power up, you pay the cost. You're gonna have to feed some other weapons. So just for example, we'll click on this weapon here, and we'll go fortification on that left hand side, and you can select items to basically feed it to level it up. Now there are specific ones. These items that I have selected here are actually specifically for power-ups. They have really weak base stats on them, and they're only for power-ups. You can also use other actual weapons, but as you can see, this one only gives gives me to level 2, whereas these ones give me to level 8. So those ones that are specifically for power-ups do basically, they're useless unless you're using from power-ups, and that's what they're made for. Another thing to consider is when you are doing the power-ups, for instance here, I select 2 of those 3-star power-up materials, and you can see it instantly takes me to level 40. I try and avoid that because you don't want to overcap and be wasting that stuff. So what I'd normally do is go back, click on that one. I'm at level 38 with that, and then I'd select a couple 1-stars until I get it maxed out. That's the sort of basics behind how you want to power up your weapons, because you don't want to overpower it up. Besides that, we'll close that. The weapons and the gear is the same. You can also raise the level cap of it. To raise the level cap, you basically need to feed a duplicate to it. It's the same as the way the units work in the game. So I can just go like this, feed the exact same item, and go raise the level cap. And as you can see, it raised my level cap to level 40. Fairly basic stuff there, but that's just how it works. So need the same item. It doesn't have to have the exact same substats or anything like that. It just has to be the same item, and then you can raise your level cap. Same goes with your chest piece and your accessories. Now, there is only 3 pieces of equipment in this game. I have heard a few things on Reddit and stuff like that saying, you know, oh, they've dumbed it down. The thing is, you do need multiple copies of those pieces of gear to increase their level cap. So there is a lot more gear you do have to obtain to make it viable, which is why I'm really actually happy that there's only 3 gear slots, because you think about it, if you needed to actually max out the level cap of the gear, you can see those little diamonds just sort of up the top next to the level. You need 5 of them to get 5 pieces of that gear. If you had 6 gear slots or more, it would be really, really taxing. So I'm actually really happy about the 3 gear slots. I think it works really well. So moving on to fortification, we're going to go to another unit because he is max leveled. If we can find one that's not, here we go. Here comes, we go fortify. This is just basically increasing the level of your units. You don't have to use this. You do get experience through the campaign and stuff like that. So not necessary, but if you do it, basically normal and rare units in this game are food, and you can just select them. Always select units of the same element because they give like extra XP. So as you can see, you can just do something like that. I'll go find some more of these wind units, which I've already used them all. But then you just go select, you click fortify, and you gain that experience. So like I said, normal and rare units, pretty much just food in this game at the moment from what I've seen. So that's pretty basic. The grade is what I was talking about earlier. You get these items from different places in the game. You get them from quests, you get them from events and stuff like that. But also, if you're wondering where they're generally obtained, you can click on them, obtain from, and then it'll take you to wherever you need to go. Some of these things have specific days that you need to do it on, so keep that in mind. But if you're ever looking at where you need an item, where you get an item that you need from, just click on it. The game's pretty generous in that it just tells you where you need to go. So really nice quality of life feature. The next thing is increasing the level cap. So level cap is increased by feeding your hero duplicates. As you can see, I'm clicking on this. I don't have any other copies of her, so I can't actually do it. What we might do is I'll jump into another unit that I can see that I have a multiple copy of. So this guy here, I do have multiple copies. I can go raise level cap, click on it. As you can see, I've got actually 3 extra copies of it. All your units, when you summon them, are locked, so you'll just have to click on each of them individually, unlock them. You can select only one at a time, okay? And then you can go raise level cap, and as you can see, it fills in a diamond up the top there. Then we can go select another one, raise level cap, and it just keeps going on and on like that. It's fairly basic. You just need dupes. There is items as well that can be a substitute for a duplicate, but I've only seen one so far in this account, so they are rare, but they do exist, which is really nice. So that is that. Moving on to skills. Once you have increased your level cap once, you can access the skills menu, and as you can see, you can actually fortify your skills, and your skills that you upgrade, you can basically only upgrade to the level of, so how am I going to say this? You can upgrade your skill to level 2 once you've got it, level cap raised once. So basically the number of diamonds you have on this screen is how many times you can upgrade a skill, and basically you just click on it, you click fortify, and then it upgrades the skill. So if I go to this one, I click fortify, it'll tell me what items I need. Once again, you can click on it and find out where you can obtain that item. So really, really nice feature. But yeah, leveling up skills. Do check it out because some skills that they do increase the amount of targets they hit, stuff like that can be really nice. The final one we're going to look at is abilities, and this is sort of like a talent tree, except it's selective at the start, but eventually you will be able to select every talent on the tree. And basically, I look at talent trees sort of specific to every unit on which path I want to go. For instance, my proxy here on his, I've really invested into him. But the first one I went with was his bottom tree because it had more physical attack buffs. Because attack is not only increasing his damage, he also does a heal based on his attack. So it was buffing his damage and also his healing. So that's why I went for that path first. It's not really the end of the world if you choose which way or the other. Eventually you will be able to fill it out completely. And to do these upgrades, what you need is, let's click on one, is this, they call it Essence. So as you can see, top there, you get Essence. You get it everywhere in the game. It just keeps coming to you, and just use it as you get it. You can just hit activate and you're going to upgrade those abilities. So that's really nice. And that is pretty much it for the character selection and character, basically the use of your characters. If you want, over the left side here, there's some more options. You can sort of get 3D images. There's also hero reviews, which are really nice. People have sort of given reviews. Sometimes you can't trust these in this game. These ones I found pretty good. A lot of the top units from my video were actually rated 5 stars, so they're not too bad. They're like everything. There's always some troll posts, but it's not too bad. You can look at that too. And anyway, we'll jump back to the lobby. And the next thing I wanted to look at was quickly. I wanted to jump back to the campaign quickly because we talked about combat, but we didn't actually go through the campaign. The campaign has a story and hard mode. Story mode is the first mode you'll work through. And basically, as you're playing the game, you just want to play through the campaign, work through it as much as you can, follow it. Also, while you're doing that, you want to be following these guide missions, which you can see up the second row from the top, second from the left. Guide missions, just follow those along the whole time, and you'll be pretty good to get where you need to go in the game. Basically, if there's a quest where you're stuck at, you can keep working and go beyond it in the campaign. The good thing about this game is it remembers everything you've done. So say there's a quest later on that says do 15 arena battles, and you've already done them before you got there, it'll already count as having done. So you don't have to do them once you get there. You can get like sort of like recognition for what you've done prior to actually getting there, which is really nice. Also, on these campaign stages, some of the stage 10s, which is where they have a boss, those bosses can be really, really hard, much harder than the start, like than 1 to 9 of the next one. So don't be afraid to do a gem refresh to actually clear it if you have to. I think it's like 5 gems for a refresh, or 10 gems for a refresh, and you get 5 attempts at it. So just judge it for yourself. If it's something that you're never going to complete in 5 attempts, don't bother. But you know, if you have to do 1 refresh to get through it and then keep progressing, I did that a couple times and I don't see an issue with it. So that's it for campaign. We'll jump back to lobby. That's the main things you want to do. Another really nice thing to do is treks. These are basically just passive things. You send your units out on missions to go basically get experience and get items. Don't get too excited about these summon cards here. Those summon cards are only basically normal or rare summons all the time. The fairy ones are actually not too bad because they're, when we talked about units giving experience, they're the little orbs and they give even more experience. So they're not too bad. But I normally look for these essences, these upgrade elixirs, sorry. I find them to be the most useful, and the skill stones as well. They're really nice. So all you have to do in these is basically go deploy, and then it gives you requirements. You can click on it. As you can see, I've only got 3 units to fill out the requirements for that one, but I need 4. So we'll go to an easy one, just to see if we can get it. So this one, I need 2 female characters. So I can just go bam, bam. That is a female? Wait. This big rock dude is a female? I did not get that. I did not pick that ever. Okay, but you can just go bam, bam, and then you can go launch trek. You can do 3... whoops, sorry about that. You can get more treks as you level up. I started out with 3, now I can do 4, so just work through that. They're just something that works passively in the background. Like I said, these ones take 5 minutes. The better ones take up to like 3, 4, 6 hours. As you can see, the hardest one there is 10 hours, so you can put them as you go to bed. Do the short ones during the day when you can check it. when you go to bed, just put a long one on and you should be pretty sweet. That's just for min-maxing. If you can't be bothered, don't stress. Another thing, guilds. Guilds, really important. Join a guild. As you can see, there's these bonuses. You can go to guild skills, and they're actually really, really nice. As you can see, you get a boost to your gold, you get a boost to your experience, drop rates, and item drop rates. Now, these hero drop rates, don't get confused. It's not like your SSR drop rates or anything like that. It's when you do a scenario, there's a chance that a hero will drop from that scenario, normally just a normal or rare unit. It's increasing those rates, which is still really nice. Same with item drops. You can't complain with having extra items, extra XP, and extra heroes. So that's the main part of the guild that you want to look for at the moment. Also get login bonuses every day, which is really nice. You get some energy, you get some gold, get some experience. So can't complain with that. Join a guild. Hopefully we get more content for guilds coming soon, but like I said, we're not even at global launch yet, so we'll wait and see what that has to bring. Moving on, we'll go back to the lobby again, and the rest of the main combat is going to be challenges and special. If we go to special first up, you've got Terra Shift and Dimension Gate. Terra Shift is one of these ones where you're getting all those upgrade materials. You can do them twice a day. Do each one of them twice a day. Always do the hardest one you can do. In this game, if you quit something, even in campaign, you get the energy back that you spent. They call it AR. I'm just going to keep calling it energy because it's just easier. So yeah, you just basically want to do the hardest mode that you can do. For instance, this one, we'll jump into Master. I'll probably get trashed, but I'll be able to leave it. So let's jump in and see if we can't. Oh no, I got to change my team. We'll just leave it because that's going to take too long. But just do the hardest one you can do, see how you go. If not, go back, try an easier one. These just have different things. So the first one has gold, the other one has upgrade materials, and the third one has equipment. So just do those every day. There's 2 runs of each that you do. You can pay to refresh and get more runs, but I don't really do that at the moment. So just do the 2 and you'll be pretty sweet. Dimension Gate, these unlock. You unlock each one as you go further into the campaign. But as you can see, same sort of thing, do the hardest mode, and you can get shards to help you summon these SSR units. Then you also have raids. So raids, there's 3 of them so far, and they do actually look really nice. The art style of them is really good. What we might do is we'll jump into one and just show you guys a quick demonstration of it, and the general strat that you want to do for raids. We'll just leave that team. That's my old team, but we'll jump in. And basically, the strat that you want to go with raids is basically you want to do the person who does the most damage to the boss gets extra rewards. And the thing is, when you start a raid, you can actually close it to the public, so no one else can join your raid battle. And what you can do is you can take up to you can gather up to 5 raid attacks. So what you can do is you can use 2 or 3 or however many raid attacks it takes to get yourself into a position to be able, sorry, I was trying to select an ability there, to get yourself into a position where you've done half the boss's health. That means even if only one person joins and they do the rest of the boss's damage, they're not actually going to exceed your damage. So you will get those bonus rewards. You can also fight other people's bosses and stuff like that. But what we'll do, as you can see, that's what it is. We'll cancel. We'll jump out. Those videos will be much later on, due to, units you're building at the moment. You want to be looking at early game. So we'll go back. As you can see, mine is sitting there. You can go down the bottom and go change settings. And as you can see, mine is already selected open to public. If it wasn't, and I'd done half the boss's health, that's when I would open it to public and let other people attack it and finish him off. Also, if you're trying to clear extra higher levels of the boss that you've summoned, you can always just open it to public straight up, just so you can clear it, have other people carry you through it, basically. So that is raids. We go over to challenges. Exploration, just another daily activity that you do. It's basically, we'll jump into it. I've already done it today. It's just this, basically, you work through, you get a lot of upgrade materials and stuff like that. The great thing about this is it does have an autoplay. That's the great thing about the whole game. It has an endless autoplay. As long as you have energy, it will autoplay for you. But this one, you can just set it. It'll autoplay through and get you as far as you go. It's one of those ones where your heroes remember their health where it was at from the stage before, and so on and so forth. As you can see, this one I actually did fail on the final level, so we didn't actually get through that. But you also have Arena. Arena is it's actually pretty fun. Except pairing at the moment on soft launch server isn't great. You're either way overpowered or your enemy's way overpowered. It's not too balanced at the moment, but we'll wait and see how arena plays out. But go into arena, do all your arena, and then you can go to the shop, and your shop refreshes every day, so make sure to keep checking back and see what you can actually get from the shop for your points. And besides that, I think we have just about covered everything. The only last one I want to cover is crafting. I haven't even got into crafting yet. What you can do is, as you get shards, you can basically craft those units from the shards that you do have. So that is the main part behind crafting. I'm not going to go into too heavily at the moment. Basically, you can craft what you do have enough shards for. As you can see, I can craft this ticket. You go crafting, it'll craft, and insufficient materials. So you need the materials to actually craft what you want to craft, but that is where it's at the moment. So that's pretty much, I think I've covered everything for this beginner's guide. Like I said, hope it helps you guys if you're just getting into the game. Let me know in the comments if anything else that you guys, if there's anything I missed that would be helpful to other people, because I really like to help everyone and check it out. So thanks for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.